Previous class we have seen the features of GST. In today's class we are seeing one small concept, that is objectives of GST. With what intentions this particular GST was started. So regarding that we are going to study in this particular class. Now we'll see. First of all, first objective of GST is its main objective, I can tell, one nation, one market. So, before the implementation of GST, in different states and different union territories, different taxes were there. ಬೇರೆ taxes ಇತ್ತು. The tax percentage was different. So all these different types of things were supposed to be removed, and one single tax regime is to be introduced. So that is one for one nation, one country, one tax rate is to be introduced. With that intention or with that objective, this particular GST was started. So that is one nation, one tax. One nation, one tax. ಒಂದು ದೇಶ ಒಂದು ಮಾರುಕಟ್ಟೆ. So because all over the state, all over the country, one particular tax is supposed to be introduced. So that is a first objective what I can consider in case of GST. Next, subsuming many laws of central and state governments and facilitating the business through GST. Now, by introducing GST, what they wanted to do is they want to subsume many laws of state and central. So earlier there were various laws, rules and regulations for different purposes. Like state had VAT, CST, that is sales tax, then different taxes, manufacturing tax, production tax. So all these taxes were there. Sometimes it is something like this: you will manufacture one product in one state and you will sell it in other state. So while manufacturing you are paying one tax, there is a different tax rate. So when you are selling you will pay one more tax, so that is some other tax rate. So these types of problems were there earlier. So that's why, with the intention of subsuming different types of taxes, this particular GST was introduced. Now what are subsumed, if you ask me, I can tell you there were VAT, like KVAT in Karnataka, MH-VAT in Maharashtra. So different types of VATs were there, value added taxes, it is removed. Then CST, state tax, production tax, excise duties. So all those things are subsumed together under GST. Now next concept we are saying single window taxation system. They want to bring single window taxation system. So all different types of earlier tax regimes are to be removed, and single window, one single website is enough to register your things. One single tax regime was introduced. Now different tax, different rules, different state, different taxes. For these different taxes, different acts, so everything is supposed to be removed. So that with that intention, with that objective, GST was started. So first 3 points are over. One nation, one market. So they want to bring one single law in whole market. And then subsumption of different tax laws of central and state government. Then single window taxation system. Next, implementation of GST has reduced the number of masters and SSC. An SSC will have to serve reporting his transactions. Thereby, he can focus more on doing the business as well. So what they are telling is reporting the transaction. So this concept is all about reporting the transaction. Earlier you have to report to various persons, to the state, to the central, to the tax authorities, to the auditors. So all these people individually you are supposed to inform about your sales, your manufacturing. All these things are supposed to be informed. So now that is completely removed. So single window andre, if you do it under GST, if you file your returns under GST, it is over. No, after that no one will ask you. So that is a concept what you are supposed to consider. Then next it is regarding GST is a network based taxation model In the course of the time, the SSC will find it more relaxing and at ease with it. So what they are telling is it is a network based model. There is a number called GSTN, that is goods and service tax identification number. With the help of that particular number, they have one network it is there. So through that network, everyone is interconnected: state government, central government, tax filer. So all these peoples are interconnected, and they very easily you can file the returns. It is not like that earlier paper systems and all those things. Through the internet, through the website, easily you can do your business. GST has already benefited the transportation sector. So this is one of the thing what I can tell. Transportation sector, why it is to be done is, earlier there was a lot of checking which was going to be happen in the checkpoints, because different taxes, different transportation related issues, different methods of verification used by different states. Now Karnataka and in the border of Karnataka and Kerala, there was a line of various vehicles. Yeah, yakandre Kerala tax system is different. You need permits, you have to pay for some products. There is additional tax that you have to pay. Like for example, what I can tell you, if one product is not is taxed at 10% in Karnataka and 20% in Kerala, then in the border they used to stop that vehicle, they used to analyze, and they used to charge that extra tax. But now it is not like that. In Karnataka also, in Kerala also, it is the same taxation rule. It is 8% means in both the states it is 8%, 18% means both the states it is 18%. So easily you can have this particular easily you can deal with this particular issue. So easily what happened is, there is a direct benefit to the transportation sector. Next one will see. It is basically rewards to the state and union territories where goods are consumed. So it is a destination based consumption tax. Now where you will consume, there you will get the benefit. So that is the greatest advantage what you will get. Now if you consume in Karnataka, you will pay, in Karnataka people will get the benefit. So states and union territories are the beneficiaries, because where it is consumed, there you will pay the tax. So that's why it is called a destination based taxation system. It is a destination based taxation system. So these are the things what are generally considered as yes, these are the things which are generally considered as objectives of GST. So 7 objectives we are supposed to consider. Now again we'll see in brief. First concept, it is one nation, one market. So they want to bring uniformity all over India. Then it is subsumption of various state and central government laws. Various laws are brought together under one particular taxation law, that is GST. Single window taxation, no different types of filings and all those types of things. Now reporting is easy. You have to report to one particular person, not to the different types of different members. So easy, you can focus more on your business. Then it is a network. GST is a network based model. So easily works can be done because it is interconnected between each another. Transportation sector is benefited a lot because of the eradication of different checkpoints and checkposts is done. Then state and central governments are benefited because of that, because it is a destination based taxation system. It is destination based taxation system. So these are the things what you have to consider. I'll send you a separate notes for whole chapter. One video is over, this is second video. One more video I'll do, and after that I'll send you the notes of this particular concept. Whole notes I will send you. You need not write this at present, and you need not send it to me at present. If needed, I will tell you. Yes, thank you.